All right. Good afternoon, Rachel. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing so good. So, you and I have been chatting in regards to a project coordination role at an engineering firm that I represent here in Winter Springs. You have some extremely relevant experience. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing most recently for work?
Oh, my name's Rachel. I have been working at an engineering firm in Avalon Park since February of 2022. I've really enjoyed my experience there. It's taught me great organization skills as well as furthering my communication skills through my background in bachelor's and communications from UCF. Day to day, I do many invoicing through our software QuickBooks. I do lots of scheduling with clients over the phone, email, setting up site visit appointments, what we call them. So the engineers go out to the homeowner's property. So I collect various types of information from them, contact information, their address, and things like that. So very detailed information that I get from them. I remain organized throughout the office. Lots of project folders that need to be organized where the engineers need to go out. So with that, I make sure appointments are always set up and the engineers know what appointments they have for that day as well as the week. I use Excel every single day, so that's also what I'm proficient in as well.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned project folders. I kind of want you to tell me a little bit more. What type of documents are you having to put into these folders to make sure that the individuals going out to the job sites are prepared?
Sure. So every time a client calls or a contractor calls, they give me their name and address. With that information, I print off various documents such as property appraisers, directions to get to the property for the engineers. I also print out the flood zone that the house or commercial property is in. All that information is super relevant to the engineers and making sure their site visit goes smoothly. They have all the information before they get there. It just helps the engineers be set up for success. So I like to print out every single document that I can. So that way they have one project folder per site visit or appointment that we call it. So they are set up for their site visit and they have all the information that they need.
Wonderful. Now, I also saw on your resume that you mentioned that you were proofreading some documents that were sent to the county for permitting purposes. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we seal, we call them e-sealing documents that we do virtually. The engineer signs off on the documents. For various counties, different requirements are needed, such as e-sealing things through separated files or one PDF. What I do is make sure those documents are accurately submitted, either through the homeowner or the contractor. So I'm in charge of making sure we do what that county requirement needs, and that way they're submitted accurately through the county.
Wonderful. Rachel, tell me if, let's just say, God forbid, a situation happened where some mistakes were made. Maybe you forgot something in that folder or something was not sent over for permitting. How would you handle that type of scenario?
So with that, I would definitely make a note for myself so that it does not happen again. I'm a very big organizer, so I really pride myself on always maintaining a steady form of communication and organization with everything I do. So if I did miss something, I would, of course, communicate with the engineer and say, hi, I'm so sorry, I forgot this. It will not happen again. I've made a note for myself. And then also anything that they would need from me, if I can help fix that scenario, I definitely would, whether that's texting them the directions. Maybe I forgot to put that in. I like to keep a form of communication open at all times with the engineers. So that way, if I do mess up on something, forget to put maybe the property appraiser, I can shoot them a quick email. So that way I can keep things up to date for them and then they have the information and it's a steady flow for everyone.
Wonderful. Rachel, tell me what's the most important thing to you about the next company that you work for?
I think the most important thing for me is making sure that I am just a part of the team. For the past 8 years of work experience, I enjoy working with other people. And with that, I've really learned that an open flow of communication, organization, professionalism has really been the highest of importance to me. So maintaining that and even reaching another goal with even bettering myself through those forms, I think is the most important thing to me. So I definitely like to be a part of a team. I don't just consider myself me and my employer status. I like to think of when I start a new job, especially, like to learn everyone and learn everyone's habits throughout the office and just flow off that. I think a very organized flow helps the company entirely grow.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Rachel, I really appreciate you allowing me to record a portion of this cover letter to send over to our client for consideration. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and then chat with you a little bit more if that sounds good.
Yes, sounds good.
Great.